Hey guys, thought I would do a DVD collection look, take you through my entire DVD collection. I'm just gonna start off with maybe one or two shelves today, and then we'll see when I do the rest of them, because there's a bunch of shelves, so it's gonna take a lot of time. But yeah, it should be fun. And it's kind of dark outside while I'm shooting this, so I'm gonna have to use the light bulb here. So I hope you don't mind a bit of artificial glare here. But yeah, let's just take a look at the collection. I've tried to sort of sort my DVDs in chronological order, released by a year, but they're not entirely in that order. So it's gonna be a couple of surprises gonna pop up here and there. So they're not totally sorted, but somewhat. So starting right here, we've got Dracula and Frankenstein, two classic Universal films. I got the entire Universal Monster collection a couple of years ago. Came in sort of a cardboard box, which was very flimsy, so I got rid of that box and kept all the films. But wedged in there, as you can see, is King Kong, the original 1933 version. And this comes in a nice special edition. Unfortunately, there are no special features on here, but you do get both the original black and white and a colorized version of the film. It looks kind of like that. I've never seen the colorized version because I don't really see the point. But yeah, very cool film. So that's King Kong for you. Moving on, we've got The Mummy, starring Boris Karloff, and The Invisible Man. I love The Invisible Man. Claude Rains has such a great voice, man. After that, there's The Bride of Frankenstein. Cool film. Very funny for its time. The Wolfman, the original version. The Phantom of the Opera. Not my favorite take on the Phantom of the Opera. I've seen at least, I think, 4 versions. And I like the 1925 version, and I like the 2005 version as well. Creature from the Black Lagoon, a very cool film. I like that a lot. It's got that cheesy B-movie 50s kind of feel, so I just like that movie a lot. It's a lot of fun. Next up is A Wonderful Life, a holiday classic. That is not a colorized version, it's only the original black and white, so it doesn't really matter because that's the only version I would watch anyway. Next up is House on Haunted Hill, starring Vincent Price, master of good old fun 50s horror. This movie is a lot of fun, very atmospheric. It's got a lot of spooky stuff going on, and it's pretty cheesy by today's standards. As you can see, it's his first time in color, so this is also a colorized. There is also a colorized version on here, but I tend to just watch the black and white version for obvious reasons. Next up, moving right along, we've got the Dario Argento collection, a box set that was fairly cheap. It's a pretty cool box set. It contains The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Cat o' Nine Tails, Suspiria, Tenebrae, Phenomena, The Stenhole Syndrome, Phantom of the Opera, Wax Mask, and An Eye for Horror, which is a documentary about Dario Argento. It comes with a very cool cover. There's a lot of different images on the sides. Unfortunately, I can't show those to you now because then the Blu-rays will come raining down on me. So if you want to check out the sides, go to my Facebook page, add me, or just check out my gallery there because I've got a lot of photos of it there. I love Suspiria. It's probably my favorite. Very atmospheric, very cool film. Tenebrae is probably my second favorite. Some of the other ones are not so great, but The Bird with the Crystal Plumage and Cat o' Nine Tails are somewhat decent. I do like opera though, and I also like Four Flies on Grey Velvet is pretty cool. I've checked that one out as well. I've seen a lot of his films, so yeah, just a very cool director. Moving along, we've got Hitchcock, The Birds. Not much to say about that one. Very cool film. Might be somewhat cheesy for the effects by today's standards, but still sort of a classic film. And Hitchcock was very meticulous and did a lot of interesting things, and I just love one thing I really love about the film is the ending. It's got a very, very interesting ending. Next up is from the rest of my collection, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill. You're wondering why do I have a super cheesy sexploitation film in my collection. That's actually because I was inspired by Rob Zombie's previous band, White Zombie. Rob Zombie's always drawn homages from various B-movie horror films, and just B-movie films in general, and this is one of the ones he sampled back in his White Zombie days with the song Thunder Kiss 65. So yeah, that's where I got the inspiration to pick up this one. It's a lot of fun, cheesy, campy stuff, and it's very tame by today's standards. It's hysterical. See it with, if you've got some fun friends over, see it with those. Next up is Night of the Living Dead. This is not the original version of Night of the Living Dead. It's actually a kind of butchered version. I think it's like the 25th or 35th anniversary edition or whatever. So they added in a bunch of scenes that were totally unneeded into the film, and yeah, I kind of hate this version. I love the original, and I do have the original, as I'm going to show you, but we'll get to that later. Next up is The Godfather, the Coppola restoration, very cool box set. Loved the first two films, and thought this was the perfect box set to get. I did ponder buying the Blu-ray set, but yeah, we'll see. I might pick that one up. Next up is Thriller, A Cruel Picture, a Swedish exploitation film from the early 70s, which is kind of notable because it stirred up a lot of controversy. Not only does it contain hardcore pornographical scenes, but there's also a scene where one of the main character gets her eyes sliced out by a crazy pimp, and they actually used a real cadaver for that scene, which is kind of insane. So yeah, but most of it is just good cheesy slow motion 70s fun. So yeah, check that one out if you're into exploitation fare. Next up is Last House on the Left. This is the original version by Wes Craven and Sean S. Cunningham. I think the remake is actually a lot better, but this was a groundbreaking film. It was very much inspired by the Vietnam War and some of the atrocities that were going on there, and it was so controversial that they had to use the tagline, "It's only a movie," which it became kind of famous for. So it's kind of tame by today's standards, of course, but still want to have if you're into the early era of slasher or exploitation cinema. Next up is The Exorcist. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Comes in sort of this, I don't know what to say, paper sleeve, cardboard sleeve. Picked this up because it's kind of different from the version you've never seen, or the director's cut. There's some alternate scenes, and I love this film, so I had to have the alternate version. But I do have the Blu-ray version now, so I don't think I'll really be needing this anymore, so I may sell this off. We'll see. Next up, now you're going to notice something about my collection. I do have a lot of happy, cheerful stuff in my collection as well. That's I'm kind of bipolar about my films and stuff. I tend to go for extreme darkness or extreme happiness. There's some stuff in between, of course, but I do tend to favor stuff that's either very horror related or not horror related at all. So I've got the first 3 seasons of Happy Days here. And I like Happy Days because it's kind of like a double nostalgia. As I see it, it's a show that was shot in the 70s, but it takes place in the 50s, so you got that double nostalgia, and I watched it growing up in the 90s, so there you go. Next up is Black Christmas, the original version. I love this film. It came out before John Carpenter's Halloween. It was one of the first sort of groundbreaking slasher films of its day. It's insanely spooky and creepy, great Canadian film, and yeah, you should really give it a watch. If you think that Halloween or Friday the 13th is the only good classic slasher film out there, then you've been missing out. So yeah, go see Black Christmas, and don't see the awful remake, see the original film. Next up, we've got the Rocky Anthology, the first 5 Rocky films starring Sylvester Stallone. Not much to say about that. Also a pretty cool box set there. Can't take it out now, but as I said, go to my Facebook page to check that out. Next up is The Omen Ultimate Collector's Edition. It's got all 5 Omen films. 1, 2, 3, 4, the awful fourth film, which is called The Awakening, and The Omen remake, which is also called 666. I really dug the remake. I thought it was really cool. I like the original as well, but I think my overall favorite film in the series is probably the second one, Damien, Omen 2. I just love that film for some reason. I love the score, really great actors. It's just atmospheric and really cool. It's not too intense by today's standards, kind of takes its time, but hey, I don't mind. I like a film when it takes its time sometimes. Now you can see we're breaking pattern here. All of a sudden we got Batman Begins in here for some reason. I don't know why I placed it over here, but it's a pretty cool edition of the film. This is a lenticular slip. So you can see over here, 2-disc special edition. Let me see if I can catch the Batman standing there, and then he's gone. I'm not crazy about Batman Begins, but I think it's a very good film. Dark Knight is a lot better, but we'll see about The Dark Knight Rises. It should be interesting. The Hills Have Eyes, the original Wes Craven film. This is a cool special edition, 2-disc special edition from Anchor Bay. I'm not crazy about the original version. I like the core ideas a lot. Wes Craven was onto something there, but I do tend to favor the remake for sure. I think that is a far better version of the same story. It's just a lot more intense and insane. So yeah, but this version from Anchor Bay is pretty cool. It comes with a lot of insightful special features, including a documentary called An American Nightmare, where you get Wes Craven and John Carpenter and all the horror directors from the era talking about their inspirations, and it's like socio-political inspirations from America at the time, which means they're talking about how, say, the Vietnam War influenced their work, or everything from, yeah, like, I don't know, labor strikes to gas prices and stuff. But it's very interesting, so yeah, check that out if you can. Next up is Saturday Night Fever. Interestingly enough, people tend to think that this movie is just about disco dancing and stuff, but it's actually sort of an urban tragedy at the core of it, and it really kind of works as a time machine to that era, which is really interesting. Right about that time, 1977, I think, right before Star Wars kind of came and changed everything. Next up is The Exorcist II, The Heretic. This film is noted for being one of the crappiest films in cinema history, which is ironic considering the fact that it's a sequel to one of the best films in cinema history, if you ask me. Just a really awful film, but at least some of the original cast came back, so I guess that's always something. Also came in this sort of early Warner Brothers cardboard sleeve thing. Next up we've got I Spit on Your Grave, the original film, uncut, uncensored. Very tough to watch, groundbreaking in some ways, but yeah, not a film you show to your friends or neighbors while eating cookies. But I do love the Joe Bob Briggs commentary on there, which puts it in perspective for me at least. Very cool film. Check it out if you can stomach it. Alright, next up is a documentary, Swedish documentary on heavy metal called So Jävla Metal. It's about the heavy metal history and heritage in Sweden and Sweden alone. So that's pretty cool. I'm from Sweden and I love metal music, so yeah, gotta have that one. Last on this shelf is The Deer Hunter, also a classic 70s film, very cool. Give it a watch if you haven't seen it already. It takes its time, but it's a very interesting film about the post-war trauma and yeah, the Vietnam War and the atrocities that went on there. So yeah, that's the first shelf right there. I'm gonna be back with more shelves in the near future, hopefully. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another one soon. See ya.